Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, I have two stories dealing with possible alien encounters, folks. One, a Black Ops team, and other alien folklore that we've heard about before, folks, is taking place in Seattle in this story. And another, this Yode-like alien was seen. Let's get into the first article, Seattle Black Ops, Shape-Shifting UFOs, and Alien Pregnancy Nightmare. Let's get into the article now. When a witness in Indiana touched a color-shifting UFO in 2015, it triggered a terrifying series of encounters, mental communication with aliens, a sickening energy surge, and even a doppelganger cat that appeared outside his home. But as mirror apparitions, Black Ops operatives and doctors' warnings about an impossible alien pregnancy push him closer to the edge, the chilling question remains, why do they keep coming back? Let's get into the actual story now, folks. I spoke with a woman named Beatrice. She called me and asked about everything that happened to me. She mentioned that she was involved in Black Ops, in a Black Ops unit out of Seattle, Washington. I didn't tell her everything, because I was afraid. Back on August 27th, 2015, I saw two aliens. Two crafts landed. One was small, and the other was of a standard size. The larger craft had a chameleon-like ability. It could change color while sitting on the ground. I couldn't conventionally communicate with the aliens. They spoke to me in my mind. I was standing by the larger craft when I touched it, and it made me feel incredibly sick. My stomach felt like it was going to explode. As I was walking away, my cat fell to the ground, rolling around and meowing like crazy. My cat and I go everywhere together. When I stood up, I sensed something near me, right in my face. I couldn't see anything, but I heard horrible growling noises. Something urged me to leave quickly, so I went back home. For the next 3 weeks, I continued to see strange things behind my house. I really don't care if anyone believes me or not. All I know is that they're coming back this summer, which scares me deeply. One other person saw this small UFO. He works for Indiana DNR in District 7, and his name is Jay. I think the experience scared him too severely. I wonder how he got my number, even though I saved it under a different name. Beatrice did the same thing. Weird, huh? Just yesterday, while I was driving home, I had a rather shocking experience. As I got near my apartment, I saw my cat sitting outside my window, but there were two of them. They both looked identical, with the same markings. When I hurried to get out of my car, the other cat vanished in the blink of an eye. I couldn't believe what was happening. This morning, I went about my usual routine. I turned on the light in the bathroom, used the toilet, went to the sink, bent over to grab a washcloth, and turned on the water. While washing my hands and face, I looked in the mirror, and bam, an alien was looking right at me. It startled me at first, and my mind raced. But when I turned to look, it wasn't there. When I glanced back in the mirror, it was standing right beside me. It stayed there for 3 minutes, just staring, and then vanished. I wish I knew what was going on. My stomach has been getting bigger ever since the incident. I've been to the doctor, but they haven't been able to figure out what's wrong. I've had every test imaginable and every x-ray done, but nothing shows up. The doctors told me something complicated to accept. I wasn't born like other guys. I have both male and female genes. They mentioned my worst nightmare might be carrying an alien child. This is incredibly hard for me to digest. I want to tell Beatrice about this, but I feel too ashamed to confide in her or anyone else. I really don't understand why they keep coming back to my house. If only I could block my mind from them, maybe I could get rid of them. I've been praying to the Lord each day, asking him to send his mighty angels to help me. This situation is way beyond my comprehension, K. And it is quite the story, folks. Now, I won't say K is a liar here, folks, but do you think he's actually pregnant? I have my doubts about that, folks. Maybe K here is, hallucinating these things, or he's indeed maybe the victim of some sort of alien interactions in his life. And the fact that Beatrice, was maybe part of Black Ops is suspect to me, folks. Could be that maybe K here is part of some sort of drug test that they're now experimenting with and basically overseen by using him as a test subject, and it's causing him to see things and hear things, and maybe it's even possible that they've gotten to the regular physicians he goes to normally, maybe as a way to basically see what would happen if they feed, false information to him. We don't know. But we can discuss this a little more after we read the next article, so let's get into it now. Yode-like humanoid encounter. Georgia teens unforgettable night along Highway 27. Hi, I came across your website and wanted to ask if anyone has ever seen a creature resembling Yoda from Star Wars. About 20 years ago, my friend and I decided to drive to an area near Highway 27, Hamilton Road, from Columbus, Georgia, toward Hamilton. We were two naive teenagers at the time who heard a rumor about Satan worshippers hiding in the woods. As teenagers do, we decided to investigate just for fun and to scare ourselves. We turned onto a dirt road and followed it for a while until we ended up in a large open grassy field. It was very dark and quiet that night. While we didn't see any Satan worshippers, I tried to scare my friend sitting in the passenger seat by putting the car in park in the open field and turning off the headlights for about 10 or 15 seconds, throwing us into complete darkness. We couldn't see each other or anything outside the car. I then turned the headlights back on. The car was still running the whole time, and when we looked forward, standing right in front of the vehicle, almost touching the bumper, was a creature we still can't explain to this day. And I would imagine, folks, to them it looked like Yoda. Now, I'm going to guess here, folks, that the creature that they saw probably looked naked. And the fact that it was green, it brings up images of goblins, and goblin folklore from both basically mythology and, mainstream, fantasy and other, gaming related material, folks. Basically like Dungeons and Dragons, the classic Green Goblin from those sorts of materials, folks. But that's just an idea. But let's move on to the rest of the article now, folks. The creature was approximately 6 feet tall and had 2 legs, but they were not human legs. They were bent like an animal's hind legs. From the waist up, it looked like Yoda, grayish, light green in color, with strange long ears, a somewhat flat but scrunched up face, and big round eyes that looked us both in the eyes. The eyes were positioned on the front of the face, not on the side. It was definitely not a deer or any other normal animal of the woods. I don't remember seeing arms, but it appeared to have 2 small, short, skinny arms in the front, although I'm not certain. It only stood there for about 5 seconds, then turned around and quickly disappeared into the night. It didn't have a distinct way of running, walking, or jumping. It moved somewhere between running, jumping, and hopping, and gliding when it hurried away. Even that movement was not typical for any animal or person. Naturally, my friend and I screamed. I threw my car in reverse and sped out of there as fast as I could. We never went back to look for another sighting, as one time was enough for us. However, I am interested to know if anyone else has experienced the same. Jay. Now, folks, they mentioned that they were looking for Satanists. Is it possible that this entity that they encountered was some sort of demon, perhaps? Or maybe other related creature? Maybe, as I've said before, folks, that people who see ghosts often see, other phenomena, like basically, lights in the sky. Maybe it's possible that this entity was some sort of spiritual being, maybe an elemental of the land, perhaps? Or other such thing. Or it could be, folks, that they saw a lizard man or some sort of dinosaur. Remember, they said that this creature had arms, or little small arms, and that reminds me of basically the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So maybe that's what they saw. All I know, folks, is that this entity was very strange. It was human-like, but was also like almost a mishmash of different things. It had a human-like face and body, and it moved like several different animals, all in one, folks, hopping and running and jumping as it moved away, and had little small arms like that of a dinosaur. All I know is, folks, it was very bizarre. Now, in the first story we read about, folks, which is equally as insane as this entity, this man had several things happen to him, and the fact that he might be pregnant is another. As I said, folks, maybe this man was administered some sort of drug and he hallucinated this, and maybe the same could be said with these 2 people who were out in the desert looking for Satanists. Maybe somehow they'd been given a drug, and it was basically tested on them to see the reactions to them. For all we know, folks, what they actually saw was a man, maybe a soldier, who was the one who administered the drug to them, and they instantly started hallucinating him into this. Either way, folks, it's interesting, but we're at the end. So please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics That Are Bad For You. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions of the chat to go subscribe to me. Of course, hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed, and please share this video out. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit the part of the bell that'll give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow. So until then, bye, folks.